What do you see as some of the biggest challenges facing this industry?
We actually released the report at the beginning of this year with
Yeah,
this same question, and the biggest challenge is, I think, the biggest one, and I think we are very aware of it, which is onboarding. You have, I think, two ways to understand that, which are two very good ways. First, which is more related to gaming, because you see that a lot of games launch with the promise ownership and everything, but you don't see a lot of players coming in. So that is one of the reason is onboarding, because it wasn't, I think it is now, but it wasn't
yeah,
easy to actually onboard a player who just want to play a game into the process of setting up the wallets and do all the things you need to do in order to secure your ability to own your digital items. So it was a long way, and when you
yeah.
want to play a game, definitely you don't have to spend, I don't remember the attention span that you have when you are a gamer, but I know that it might be around 3 seconds.
Right.
And you need to, as a game company, you need to catch attention of the potential player for the first seconds. And if
Yeah,
you're asking him to set up a wallet, that's done. So
yeah,
I think that's one of the things in terms of onboarding. The other part of onboarding is actually based on B2B. Like, if you want players, you need also game companies to be involved
right.
in the space to understand the value of blockchain. It was very niche back then in 2021, 2022. So you need game developers and game companies, game publishers to understand the value of it. And onboarding is also part of actually our activities, how we are the bridge between what's happening with the blockchain technology, but also and the gaming industry. And I think it's a big challenge. We'll always have the challenge, still have this challenge. But you saw it at GDC, like it's
Yeah,
moving in the right direction, and I think it's going to be very interesting, because the other challenges are in terms of good gameplay. I
right.
think we struggle with the image we got from 2021, 2022 for providing body gaming experiences of games with blockchain thinking, blockchain mechanisms. And from that, I think we got the narrative of not developing good game with the blockchain layer. So, which is something which is changing. Like, if you went to GDC and you maybe played some games yourself, it was
Yeah,
definitely a lot of them was very interesting games to play. So I think that's the challenges now.
yeah. Okay. And one of the things, I was talking to one of the public blockchain, BD BD folks the other day, and they were saying that, in the US and in Europe, for instance, many of the big, game studios are still, fairly hesitant, or maybe they're not really taking the plunge. I mean, it's a slow movement into Web3. Perhaps they are protecting their own turf, because they put in so much of money in the existing infrastructure. And in what he was telling me is that a lot of the action is actually happening in markets like Japan and Korea and maybe China and a few other Asian countries. So I think I think also the fact that if many of these Web2 studios take the plunge, it will really help in, they will bring in a lot of resources, a lot of talent, a lot of expertise, and also access to to mainstream audiences, right? So I think I think that's something. I know it's starting to happen, and I think your research report also talks about it, that I think in 2024 the adoption by many of the traditional studios and so on would be highest. But what does it take for them to start really moving faster? I think that will really also propel adoption in this particular space.
Yeah, I think you said it well. Like, there are so many different things based on what you said. The first one, the game publishers, yes, obviously they are protecting the activities they already have. They are making money, so why you should change something which is working? But in the long run, you're gonna see that it might not be working as well as it was before. So they are very slow in terms of adoption. But as you said, we're seeing massive movement from companies like Ubisoft, from Square Enix as well, into the Web3 world, and it's not going to change. Like a lot of them, big game publishers gonna officially announce that they are part of the Web3 movement, and that's good. And for the differences between Europe and Asia, I think it depends on a lot of things. Mainly, you said Japan. I think Japan is an example based on the regulation, because from the start you have the governments giving a lot of clarity, visibility about what you should and could do if you are developing a game with blockchain mindsets in terms of the regulation. And I think that's not something you have in other countries.